Hi guys, it's Talisha, and today I have my year in review for 2019 video. So the first thing we did for 2019 was actually drop Kai off at the breakers to get started under saddle, which was so exciting. It felt like such a long awaited thing, and it was so overwhelming that he was actually going to be started under saddle. So here is the very first clips of him being ridden. This is the breaker on him here. It's just filmed on a phone, so I'm sorry for like the quality, but just to show you what he was like, and obviously you'll be able to see his progress throughout this video. Barrel Show was the first show I competed in this year, riding two of my friends' horses. That's Rebel, you see now, and this is Johnny, you see here. Both boys were really lovely. I'd never ridden these horses until this day, so safe to say I was probably not, riding my best, but it was a great opportunity. We placed top 3 in all our classes out of a very large amount of competitors. It's a very competitive show, barrels, so this was great, and they were just both so fun to ride. So thank you so much, Hannah, for giving me this opportunity to ride your gorgeous boys. In January, we also went for our first beach ride. I'd never been on the beach before, not sure if Jep had either, but by her reaction, I don't think she had. The waves were very terrifying. However, although we didn't get her in the water, I had some fun galloping across the beach, which was so much fun. And then we did a little pony swap with my friend, and I rode her horse Beau, and he was so lovely. He's a thoroughbred, and he was pretty keen on the water actually. And me being the typical track rider I am, I just wanted to take the ex-race horse for a gallop along the beach, and he was so fun to ride. After Beau, I then got on a pony called Luna, who was terrified of the sand, and she was fun too. Trying to throw me off here. She's such a cute pony. I loved Luna. She's so sweet. Um, and she finally got over her fear of the deep sand. Good Luna. Here we have our first ever clinic. Actually, I'd never done a clinic before this day, and it is with Olivia Towers, who I'd been following on social media for ages. I really look up to her as a rider and as a person in general, just her outlook on everything. It was a very rewarding clinic, and I learnt so much throughout. It was definitely one to take away and remember, that's for sure. So thank you so much, Olivia, for giving me such a wonderful little lesson. First Pony Club Rally Day of 2019. We didn't make it to as many rally days as I would have hoped this year due to such a busy competition schedule, but we had fun when we came, and I just love my little Pony Club rally days. I love my club. It's just like a little family. We always have so much fun doing so many different activities. It's so good for Jep to get out and do different things like sporting. She loves her sporting, and also doing a little bit of jumping. Here we have her going around the barrels like the little speedy pony she loves to be. She just loves it. And finally, I get to sit on Kai. This was my first time riding Kai. I got to come and see how he was progressing, and you can even see the way he's developed physically since the clips of us dropping him off and his first ride. So here's actually the second time I rode him. I came back. I didn't get clips of me riding him the first time because I went on a trail, but yeah, so this was technically my first proper ride on him because I didn't get to really do much else on him apart from a little trail. And I finally get to canter him and get a feeling for how he moves and everything. It was very interesting. It was so different to any other horse I've ridden. I've ridden young horses before, but he was just so different and forward thinking as well as a little bit stubborn. And then that's January. So now we're on to February, my first comp with Jeb of the year, and it was a barrel dressage. It was just a members day, so it was not an official comp or anything, just a nice little training day, and this was actually our first time ever doing an elementary test. So this is the elementary test 3A, and as you can see, it's just, looking back at this, it's really nice to see the improvements we've made. We couldn't even get a walk to canter. My sitting trot was horrendous. I was leaning so far back in the saddle, and just the way she holds herself compared to how she holds herself now. I don't know, it's just really nice to look back on and see the difference in both of us in not even 12 months time. It's really nice. Wow. safe to say that I've got a lot more strength in my core since this competition, but it's really good to look back at these videos. Really nice to see how far we've both come. So this is when Kai came home from the breakers and how Jep felt about it. She was like, I'm still the boss. Don't forget, I'm the boss of you. So I then had one ride on Kai before I put him out on his break. I just wanted to make sure his head was all good. You know, he was happy to be ridden at home without any issues. I didn't want him to be funny or silly, but he didn't put a foot wrong. Up until this stage, he was really, really quiet and easy to do everything with. So I just walked, trotted, and cantered him around for no longer than 15 minutes at this stage. And just really to make sure that he was calm, relaxed, and happy to just do his thing. And then he went off on his spell to grow and develop physically and mentally. He was such a good boy. Good little Kai man. And that's February. So now we're on to March, which is a string of hack shows with Jep. This is Robertson Spring's show. She was very tense and ready to just take off. And this was when we realized how Jep felt about hack shows. She would never act up at any dressage shows, and she was always never tense or anything at all, and then she just started changing at hack shows. I used to do quite a lot of hacking with her and never had any issues, but as we started to do more dressage and learn more movements, it's like she'd just get bored in the hacking. So she'd throw in her own moves. She'd have moments of absolute greatness and then just randomly blow it with a little explosion of energy because it was like she just got bored of going in circles, and I honestly don't blame her. So here is, this was actually from my Instagram followers pick my riding routine or something, or it was something like that. And we had a little show jump. So that's why I vaulted on her as well, because you guys wanted me to do that. So because we don't do much jumping, neither of us are really show jumpers, we kept it quite low, and oh god, I look horrible, but just look at my pretty pony. Now we're on to Mossvale show. Again, much the same as Robertson. Moments of greatness and moments of not so greatness. Not that that's really like a word, but you know. As you can see in these clips, she's very tense. Very, very tense. And then, yeah. So she'd have really nice moments, and then she'd be like, I'm bored. But then we went on to sporting, and of course she was perfect and just keen to go for a run, winning all of her sporting events and not misbehaving at all, because it's sporting and we love sporting. We don't like hacking, apparently. Hacking is boring, Jep says. I want to run or do laterals in dressage, and that's all I want to do. It's alright, you got your way, Jep. Well done. We won our rider class, which then put us in the champion class, and even with Jep mucking up, we ended up getting reserve champion because the judge said that I rode her through it really well, which was really lovely, as well as a bunch of firsts and seconds from various other classes. After those hack shows, I decided that it wasn't what Jep wanted to do, and as much as I do enjoy doing my little local shows to support my community, it just wasn't what she enjoyed doing, so we decided to stop doing hacking and dressage and just focus on our dressage. So here we are training at a lot of our elementary work, and just really trying to get both our strength up to scratch for the elementary tests. At this stage, we're just doing the elementary 3A, which is the easiest test out of the elementaries, because we were not ready for the 3B or 3C yet. We're just trying to really make it clean, as it was not clean at this stage, as well as working on her length and trots and just length and canters, everything like that, just trying to get some more strength and power behind her for those movements. And here we are at another barrel dressage, but this one is an official, so this was our first official elementary 3A, as well as some other novices. and she was very well behaved here. A lot of improvement in the novices. However, we had quite a dodgy 3A, and I came out of this test in tears pretty much. I was so disappointed in how it went, and it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. It was worse than the time we did it prior at the unofficial day, and most of these clips aren't actually from the elementary now that I'm looking at them. But yeah, it just felt like we went backwards. Even though our training at home was going so well, it just felt like it didn't really do much. So these clips are actually from elementary there. But that's dressage for you, that's horses. Now on to April. So this is Camden dressage, where we're doing 2 novices and the elementary 3A again. And the 3A in this test went really well. And I was so happy coming out of this test, especially because we had entered in Bathurst Royal in the elementary, and after Barrel I was really scared that we weren't going to be ready for it and that I'd taken the jump when I shouldn't have. But I came out of this test so happy with so much improvement, and really confident for Bathurst, as well as our novice tests going really well. I had a lot of confidence because we'd never done a Royal together before, so this is what I needed before going into Bathurst Royal, which was awesome. So we actually won all 3 of our tests this day, which was absolutely awesome. And then our next comp was Bathurst Royal. We stabled here for 3 nights as well, and I was so happy with her. It was the biggest comp we'd actually done together at the time, and she was just a little superstar. Our elementary, of course, was not perfect, but I was so over the moon with how it went, and it was the best elementary we'd done. Then on to our pony club day, which was the following day. Oh my god, I did not expect this day to go as well as it did. Doing some hacking, which I was worried about, but she was a star with no issues. We also did team of 4s, pairs, and a dressage test, with a large number of riders coming first, second, and third in every hack class, winning our dressage class of the day. And our pairs, so we did sporting, which we came second in all our sporting events, which was insane. I did not expect to go as well as we did at this comp because there were so many people. So with our pony club results, we got reserve champion, associate rider. It was just insane. So as you can see, top 3 in all our pony club classes. We got second in one of our novice tests on the day before, and then 5th places in the other 2 tests. So 5th in our elementary and 5th in our other novice, which was awesome. I just couldn't believe it, honestly. I was so happy with how this comp went. Now on to May. Now this is little Romeo. He's a client horse that I ride for someone, well, pony I should say. I haven't ridden him as much lately, but here are some clips from when I rode him in May, and I rode him a couple more times after that, and now he's kind of been in and out of work. He's not competing at the moment, but hopefully I'll be competing him sometime in 2020, so keep your eyes peeled for this stunning little Welsh pony. Now I believe he is 11 hands, I want to say, but as you can see, he can easily take my weight. I weigh like 50 kilos, so... And Jep got clipped. I'd never clipped her before, so this was so exciting. And clearly she was very over it by the end, because look at her little face in these pictures. So here we have another Camden dressage, and this day I did 2 prelims and 1 novice. It kind of sounds weird because we went back to doing prelims, but that's because we had qualified for the youth nationals in July, and we'd qualified for prelim and novice, and I'd done none of the new prelim tests ever because they just changed this year. So I wanted to compete them both before I competed them at nationals, because we qualified last year for the prelims, so I didn't ever do them. But yeah, it went really well. Jep has her moments with the prelim. It's kind of like hacking. It's like she gets a bit bored, so I try not to do too much of the prelim work with her. She loves her lateral work, but she went really well, and she placed second in the prelim 1B, first in the 1C, and first in the novice. I think we did the 2B on this day, or maybe the 2C. I don't know, one of the 2. But here's us with our ribbons. Now on to June. So here we are at my pony club riding a couple ponies for some of the pony clubbers that were just having issues with them, and I'm just going to let you listen to this clip of little Jaffa, the cheeky pony who kept throwing off his rider, so I got on him and gave him a jump.
Well done, Talisa. In my memory. Yay!
Good boy.
Good job.
Good job, Jaffa.
Oof, Jesus.
Are you worn out? Good boy, come on. Good boy.
Yes.
Good boy. Good boy.
Well done, Talisa.
Good boy.
Oh, well done. Yay!
I love how supportive my pony club are. They're so sweet, cheering because I got Jaffa to jump. Anyway, this is the Young Rider Dressage Nationals, and I already said this, but this was at the time, the biggest event we'd ever done, so bigger than Bathurst, obviously. We'd never competed at the Sydney International Equestrian Centre. It was just so exciting, and we qualified for both the prelim and novice levels the year before, so we got our qualifications in quite early, which was really nice. I was so happy with how this went. Our novices were the highlights. She was just on her A game for the novices. Prelims weren't horrible or anything, but I can just feel that she gets bored in the prelims, and it's like she's just like over it and wants to do something different. We actually I was aiming to end up midfield from this competition, but much to my disbelief, we actually came home with 3 ribbons out of 4 tests. 6th in the Pony 1B, 7th in the Pony 1C, and an 8th in the Novice 2C, which was awesome, and we only just missed out on getting a ribbon in the other novice test as well. If you want to see more of Kai's progress, I recommend looking at the video of my 3 years with Kai video, because I feature all the ups and downs with him, and trust me, there are a lot, but I just couldn't fit it in this video, so here are some clips of him starting to be in more consistent work. This is his first ever outing. I took him to a pony club rally day, and he was just so good, so quiet. We were over some of his cheekiness. As I said, if you want to see all of that, watch the 3 years with Kai videos, and you can see me falling off him and going through a great deal of difficulty of him testing me and just really pushing me as a rider. But we're starting to get through that at this stage. No one expected this outing to go as well as it did because of the type of horse he had been up until now. Where he'd been quite stubborn and cheeky, and he was just an angel. He literally didn't put a foot wrong and acted like he'd been out so many times before. Now we're back to some pony club shows. So this is the dressage and show jumping day that was held at Berrima. Jep went so well in her in her novice. Our elementary was not our best, so we did the 3A, and I think the novice test was the 2C or the 2B, one of the two. I was just not happy with this test, but it took a lot for me to start being happy with, honestly, any of our elementary tests, because I'm such a perfectionist. But then we went on to show jumping, and she was so keen to be jumping, and she won both her show jumping rounds and came second in both of her dressage tests. It's just a little course, but keep in mind she is an old pony, so I'm not going to push her around anything big, and she just loves that height because it's so fun for her. She doesn't have to try. Here is a lesson with my wonderful coach Alice, and this is when we were really starting to work on our canter to walks / walk to canters, because I was wanting to start working at training towards doing the elementary 3B, which had the canter to walks in it. Obviously not clean, not quite there yet, but in time. August, here's Kai at another pony club rally day just for some photos, and then I took Kai to his first ever indoor arena. As you could see, he was being a bit cheeky at the start, just getting used to a dressage whip on his hind end. Fun fact, I do not use a dressage whip on him ever anymore because it's something that just doesn't work with him. He's a very sensitive horse, and just that little feeling on his hind end, just that little bit of pressure, he doesn't like it, and he kicks out, he cow kicks, he's just not here for it. So I don't use it anymore, but at this time I was trying it, and we don't use it now. As you can see, I'm starting to work on collection. Very give and take. He has little moments of it, but I'm not asking much out of him. His canter is still very unbalanced and needs a lot of work, but it was getting there, and we were making a lot of progress at this stage as he was starting to not be as cheeky and as stubborn. This is the Zone 10 Dressage and Show Jump day, so it is like our pony club zone championships type thing. Jep was awesome, doing a super novice test. I was so happy with this novice test. And then a pretty good elementary 3A. I was actually really, really happy with how it went. We got all our walk to canners, which hadn't happened before, and she was just super adjustable, really nice in all her work. Then we're on to our show jump rounds. So we did 2 show jump rounds, and also in the last show jump round they had a joker jump, which was a bit higher, and you got like 40 points if you jumped that. So we jumped it. You'll see it soon. Here, it's the one we're coming to now. And we got first in both our show jump rounds, going completely clear. So that gave us over 17 show jump champion, over 17 dressage champion, and then over 17 age champion. Over 17 being me being over 17 years, if you didn't figure that out. So this was just awesome. And then Kai had his first ever trail ride. Well, like a proper trail ride, like in bush and stuff. He did not like water. Well, I mean, honestly, he still doesn't. But this was me trying to get him over, well, just past. I wasn't even asking him to go over it. I wanted him to go past this puddle, and he was like, no, I'm going to walk him in the bush instead. And then Jen was like, oh, here, maybe if I walk in front of him, he'll follow me. And he literally just saw her walk, and she was like, okay, I'm fine now. It just shows how loving and trusting he is of people. He's really a people person. And here he is cantering and just experiencing new things on this trail. He walked up and down stairs. I mean, we're on like the side of a cliff here. Obviously, it's got fences and stuff, but he just took it all so well. He thrives in his trails. It's his favorite thing. He just loves them so much, and I hope to do many more with him next year. And now we have Sugarloaf Dressage Day. We did 2 novices and the elementary 3A. I know it's getting repetitive, but you know, that's what we did. I was really happy with her at this day. She was getting cleaner and cleaner in her elementary test, getting more consistent with the walk to canners. Still not as clean as they need to be, but it was just getting so much better. But I was really surprised to see that our score did not reflect that. It was the worst score we'd ever gotten in this test, but it was literally the best we'd done this test, which was really sad. But we still got a 3rd, and we got 2nd in both our novices. Here we are on to September and another Camden Dressage Day, because I just love the Camden days, and they're such a nice official event. Yet again, you guessed it, we did 1 elementary and 2 novices. Does it really surprise you? Jep was a star, as always. She was just getting better and better with her elementary work, and it was so nice to finally be getting our walk to canters cleanly and just getting better. Her counter canter was stronger. Her 10-meter circles were just all so much stronger. Her shoulder ins were scoring so highly, and we won all 3 tests this day as well. And here we have I think it was Del Throsby Memorial Day, it was called, another pony club day. We did a novice 2B, and she was full of energy this day. She hadn't been in much work because we had some pretty bad rain this week, And honestly, she was a powerhouse in the show jumping. I could barely stop this pony. Um, she won her dressage and won both show jumping. And then we had sporting and obstacles. She got second in all her sporting events and second in the obstacle course. She was just full of energy. She went so well on this obstacle course as well. I didn't expect her to go this well over the little jump. And then she had to go over a bridge and through a tarp of like little ducks. And I didn't think she'd go over the tarp. I've never done tarp work with her, but she was like, that's fine. I don't care. And we got reserve champion that day. Here are some clips from another Pony Club rally day. I didn't get any videos, but I just really liked all these photos, so I thought I'd put them in just so you could see. And this is me riding Luna, who was one of the ponies I rode at the beach. As I said, I love this pony. And October, my favourite month, my favourite week of my life, Pony Club Nationals. Oh, so another national event. We had never done nationals or anything before, and then this year we did two. So we went for the novice dressage, doing the 2A, 2B, and 2C, qualifying for it from other Pony Club events and our success from both this year and the previous year in all our Pony Club dressage days. I could not fault Jep this whole week. Our training test scored over 70%, and then our first test we did, I got a course error, but it just didn't matter because of how amazing Jep was. We still got second place out of 20 riders in our age group. We then also got second in the test the following day, being the only top place getter to stay in the places. And on our final test, we got third place, which then left us as the overall novice dressage champions in the over 17s age group. So we were officially national champions. I just couldn't believe, I'm honestly still blown away to this day to even attend this event and let alone walk away as national champions was just honestly everything to me. I never thought I'd be a national champion, and I owe everything to my amazing pony. She's amazing. Anyway, back to Kai. So here is Kai starting to improve more at his long and low work. This was a foundation to all his on the bit work, like with that higher contact. I started him doing the long and low stuff. Still not very low, but getting there. November, Jep and I had the Shoalhaven Dressage Championships and a measuring day to officially measure her, as I'd never gotten her officially measured. She was amazing. We did the elementary 3A and B. What? How fun. And as well as a novice. We got second place in all our tests, I believe. Yeah, and also she measured up as 13.3. My little pony is smaller than we thought. I thought she was 14.1 and she's 13.3 and 3/4. How cute. And still beating all the horses. Like, how awesome's that? At Pony Club Nationals, she was beating all the big warm bloods, even though she's only 13.3. I was so happy with how she went. It was really good for our first 3B. And here we have our, where are we? We're at the Sutherland Shire Dressage Championships, another regional event. Oh, I was so happy, so happy. We did a novice test and the two elementaries, the 3A, 3B, second time doing the 3B, and it was so much better than the week before, literally a week after the last test you just watched. Well, last test, whatever, same thing. And it was so good. We actually got all of our canter to walks apart from one. Her walk to canters are getting so much smoother and stronger. I was just so happy, and her walk pirouettes were really getting there. So it was awesome. And we won all three tests. Again, awesome. And we even got little prizes, like we got the Reserve Champion Pony of the Year, even though we only attended this one event when they had like another 3 or 4. So that was cool. Some more Kai progress, even from that video I showed you from a couple weeks ago, he'd improved so much. His work ethic had also changed He was not stubborn, he was not cheeky or doing anything stupid. He was looking forward to work and so willing, so forward. You could really tell he was enjoying it. And it was such a nice change from worrying if he was gonna try to throw me off any second. I just didn't have to worry about that anymore because he just loved it. He was really enjoying it. And then he tried to jump a fence. So he was at my neighbour's place and tried to jump a barbed wire fence because he got a scare, and considering he jumped it from a standstill, came out of it pretty bloody well. He didn't have to get stitches or anything. They were only surface cuts, as you can see. We just shaved them and treated them, like washed them out and sprayed them. The vet came out to just double check, but considering he jumped it from a standstill, he did a pretty good job of clearing it. Thank God. And here we have our Brett Parbury clinic. Oh my God, this was such an amazing clinic. He is such an amazing coach. If you don't know who he is a World Equestrian Games dressage competitor, international Grand Prix dressage rider. He was awesome, and I can't wait to get another lesson with him. He was just amazing. I did a whole video of this posted last week if you wanted to see more of what he had to say and more riding clips from it. December, final month of the year and the final comp of the year. We did the Barrel Christmas Championships. Obviously, you can tell from our fancy dress. Jep was honestly full of energy. I don't know where it came from, but she did a super novice test and ended up placing second out of 15 young riders. So that was awesome. She was just phenomenal in that. And the 3A, I wasn't that happy with it. I was really happy with the trot work, but the canter work just didn't feel as good as it could have been. Same with the 3B, and we got fourth in both our elementaries, but that's fine. She just had a lot of energy, and I wasn't really able to adjust her canter enough to get nice, clean canter to walk transitions and etc. etc. But that's 2019. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I can't wait for 2020.